up, everybody? Welcome back to Building SouthLake. Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic week on your break, or if you are working, have fun working. I need to take out a piece of brown carpet and fix that little hole over there. I was testing a couple things out with some new things that we got in the updates. We got armor stands on the Xbox One, and I think on the Xbox 360, and PS4, and PS3. And so basically I was just kind of messing around and kind of make the stadium feel more realistic. And whoa, we can actually fly through those? I'm in the armor stand. You'll never... Ooh, wait, hold on. Can we play hide and seek if we do this? If I line this up just right... Damn, you can see me. Alright. Well, worth a try. So, let's go do our subscriber of the week, and we can get started on what we're going to do, which I'm not sure what we're going to do, but we can find something. Okay, so I'm not going to say it this week, but we got to find a new place to do with our subscribers after we're done with this. So, our subscriber of the week is Joey. So Joe and Y, do a space Monge. So Monge. So Monge? It looks right. And so Joey Monge, thank you very much for watching, bud. It is greatly appreciated. So today, we actually didn't upload SouthLake yesterday. This is going up a day late because of just, all the crazy things going on with the holidays, I'm sure you guys have a feeling of what I'm talking about. It's Christmas, pretty much. So, we have a lot of stuff to really do, kind of. I'm not sure what I want to do, though. Because when I say we have a lot to do, I mean that, but it's more the fact of what do we want to do? Maybe we can kind of come back to working on this building over here, since we need to work on that. So, we have quite a few things that we need to get started. So I was thinking about this. With armor stands, to make the city more realistic, I think what we could actually do is add armor stands everywhere and put armor on every single one. And that way, it kind of looks like there's people roaming around the city kind of feel. I think that's actually a really cool thing to do. And I'm not sure if there's a limit. I'm sure there is, which will be unfortunate. But I'm sure we can kind of think of something. So what, we need quartz for this. So quartz, we also have some new blocks. We have polish andesite. Diorite, polished diorite, andesite, polished granite. We have red sand and red sand sandstone. So we have a lot of new materials. Maybe we could find a way to incorporate these into a new building. How do we want to do this? Because, as you guys know, I'm a big fan of trying to keep things organized. But the fact is, how are we going to do that? That's the hard thing. So I'm going to go to some of my saved screenshots, get some ideas, which you guys should do as well if you want some ideas. So, we need to figure out what kind of building we want to make, because that's actually one of the harder things, is figuring out how you want to make things and where you want to make them. So I'm just kind of scrolling through all my pictures here. You guys should do the same like I said. Oh, we have a lot of houses. So I'm not sure, because I want to work on the mall. That's something I've been really thinking about, just because I like making that kind of stuff. And so I kind of want to make that, but I'm not sure if we have the space for it yet. So I'm not too sure if we want to get started on that or if we want to kind of push it off and wait. So many decisions. Let's see. Well, now one thing we could add maybe is like a hotel kind of thing over on the other side. Still kind of scrolling through all my pictures. Houses everywhere. Some of you guys are actually commenting about how many houses you guys want. You guys want more houses, and that's great. But I do want to inform you guys that you're not going to see houses for a while, mainly due to the fact that Season 3 of Houses just ended. So we really need to kind of take it back a little bit, take a step back, because I don't really want to do it too soon, I mean, the whole point of putting the houses in seasons was the fact that we could kind of split things up, and we didn't really have to rush with anything. I want to build a skyscraper. I've been kind of wanting to start one for a while. But again, there's not really any space for one, so where do we want to start something like that? I have an idea. We could actually come all the way over here. So last part, we actually did a tour, because as you guys know, or if you don't know, every 10 parts, so when we get to an even number, well, not just an even, a round number, like, for example, 60, 50, 40, you get the idea, 70. I usually do a kind of city tour, so you can see, like, what's kind of happened over those past 10 parts. And that's what last week was, because this is episode number 61. And so you can kind of take a guess about, why there was a tour yesterday. There's so many different buildings I have saved from real life and Minecraft. There's so many different ideas. So, we could probably start a building here with some of our new materials. So what we're going to use is, still going to use quartz because I like using quartz. Ooh. I'm not even going to try to say it. We got dark whatever. And what was I looking for? Quartz stuff. Where's my quartz stuff? Everything's got rearranged. And we should be good with that. We can maybe use some fence posts too. Which kind of style of fence post do we want to use? Let's just use dark oak. I like that color. What we can do is start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That way we have enough room for our sidewalk. Make a 2 wide pillar here. And I'm actually just going to kind of wing it. So I have an idea of a certain, like, kind of a design. But at the same time, I do like to wing things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so this week's been really crazy with a whole bunch of holiday shopping. I kind of combined the two. Here we go. I didn't count that time. There we go. Should have 5 in the middle. I actually kind of like these new blocks. They are great for the city pack. Awesome. So 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I spent so much money this week and this weekend. For example, today I spent $2,000, 3, 4, 5, 6 on a new computer. Unfortunately, I haven't gotten it yet because I ordered it online. But this new computer is massive, and not just massive in like scale, but massive when it comes to amount of power it has. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so I'm actually really excited to get that computer because as of right now, I have 2 computers, one for recording and playing, and then the other is for actual editing and things like that. So, you know, I think with this new computer, I might be able to kind of hold it off and use it, you know, for an everyday in every kind of thing basis. Because instead of a 8GB or 16, this new computer has 32 gigabytes of memory. So it'll be very fast when it comes to multitasking. And it has like 4 hard drives. I put like 4 2TB hard drives in it. So it is absolutely massive. And I'm actually really excited, like I said, to kind of get it. And hopefully, because one thing I've always wanted is when I play video games like Grand Theft Auto on the PC or, you know, Anno 2025, whatever it's called. You know, I really want to use some of those new material. I'm thinking of Minecraft and everything. I'm kind of getting everything mixed up. But this new computer is hopefully going to be able to kind of, what would be the best word? Take the place of my 2 computers and combine them into one because of how fast it is, how much space it has. So hopefully it will last me a while, and I will still need more hard drives after I fill up 8, you know, terabytes of space. But I should be good after that. So this building is using some of the new materials. I think we're using, what are we using here? Diorite. And I thought diorite actually fell like sand, but I guess I'm wrong on that. And we actually might incorporate some of these other new materials into this. Kind of make it look a little bit better. So if you do have any ideas on what I should add to the city, please let me know. Because I'm always open to your guys' ideas. A lot of you guys say I should add residential areas, malls, airports, and I'm already ahead of you guys on that. But I'm talking about like what other things would you guys like me to add? Because I want to see what you guys have to offer. And you know, at some point I keep saying this, but at some point it will happen. I do want to bring people onto the city and actually build with them on the beach and on the ocean, because that's going to take a very long time. That's a very big job for a one-man person and one-man crew. How's that looking? That's not looking too bad yet. So what I want to do is take this, kind of replace one layer with that, kind of add a little bit more color in here. I like that it looks like brick too, so it actually looks kind of, you know, realistic. Because I actually see this quite a bit on other ones. Also, we got oh my god, my words. We got a potion of leaping, which if you don't know what that means, it basically means you can jump higher. And I actually did not know that this update came out until I got on today. And that's mainly because I haven't really been keeping up with, you know, Minecraft news all too much recently. Not because I don't like it, not, you know, it's not that. It's just that I've been very, very busy. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll come back 4 this time. Stack this up. And then we'll put this on top. And actually, I like how that looks. That makes it look a lot better, in my opinion. Alright, and then we want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we get that right. So this building, I think we want to make it into an office building is what I think would probably be best for this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry if my counting annoys you. I just got to make sure I'm getting the correct amount. If not, it could throw the entire building off, even though I don't know what it's going to be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So hopefully this video can actually get you some inspiration on how to start a building. Oh my goodness. Sorry, excuse me guys. I mean, I do see a lot of comments talking about, some people don't like that I skip over, one building to the other in different episodes. But the reason I do that is so, you can get more ideas from seeing how I start buildings and how they kind of work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do we want to make that our last one? I think we probably should. So that'll be our last pillar that we add. There we go. Doop, 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 doop. Perfect. So now we got to figure out what kind of design we want to go for. So what I'm kind of thinking is, so we have these pillars here. Obviously, these are set back a little bit. But what if we kind of cut these a little bit shorter, and then this comes all the way over and connects over here, like kind of like an overhang kind of thing. I feel like that would actually look pretty good. Let's actually try that. So let's see what we can do with it. So let's stack this up. Also, how wide is this? Is that, ooh, polished diorite looks really good. We're going to be using that quite a bit. I can tell you that now, because it looks better than snow, and it's also more solid than snow. It won't melt, because as you guys know, snow does melt. Not in this game, besides like the little slabs, but the actual snow blocks in real life do. And this will actually solve that. Okay, so we kind of have an idea of how we want to go about doing this building, but now we got to figure out how tall do we want it, how big of the windows do we want it to be, what kind of design for the windows do we want. So we really got to think about a lot of these things that go into some of these buildings, and that's probably the hardest part for a lot of people when it comes to designing, is the fact that, how do I make sure I don't use the same design again? And that, if I'm being honest, is a very hard question, because when you make so many buildings, how do you not, use the same design over and over and over again? And it's a really hard thing, you really got to think about it, put some time into what you're, going to try to make. Even though I didn't really plan out this building all too much, if any, I still have a small idea of what I want to do with it, and, we really just got to figure out the small details, like the windows, the designs for those, and that's really where we're going to get stuck up, I think. So that looks pretty good, looking kind of small. What if we added, because I don't want to have a window like right here necessarily, so I'm trying to figure out how I want to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. That actually works out nicely. Happy I did that. So what I'm kind of thinking is, what if we made this right here into a solid wall? So right here. Or maybe we can just kind of move it back one like this. Actually might look a little bit better as well. So let's do that. And then connect these together. I really do like this new block. I feel like we're going to be using it quite a bit for small things like this. I mean, because I can't really see myself using it for, actual buildings, but for pieces of buildings, I could definitely see myself using it quite a bit. It kind of looks like emerald texture on, what texture pack was it? Flows HD. Emeralds in the Flow HD texture pack on the PC actually had like that kind of grid design, and that's actually kind of what this reminds me of. Perfect. So there we go, we got that. So that's looking good. So if we want to start our windows, this is where things start to get a little bit more tricky, because I don't want to use a same design window every single time. I want the first floor to be pretty tall, so maybe around there might be pretty good. But what if we do something like this? We take out maybe a slab. What kind of slab do we want to use? That's a good question as well. I'm kind of thinking dark oak slab. So maybe like right here. Just like that. Okay. And then what we can do is kind of add a small little arching window. Like this. This is looking decent so far. Now we just got to figure out how we want to go about doing it correctly, which is the hard part. So I don't like that because it's too steep. So what we're probably going to do is take out a quartz slab, which is here. And if this is very indecisive for you guys, just kind of remember that this isn't meant to be a tutorial. This is kind of meant to be just a informational video. So, I don't like that. That's actually really, really ugly. So our windows are 5 wide. So we got to find a way to do something with that. Because we could put 2 things here. So what if we do, go back to this. If we put this here, right? Then maybe we put, so if we do something like this, and maybe finish it off with something like that on the top. That's still kind of ugly. See, this is the only thing I really have trouble with, is how do you use a window not over and over again? So I'm trying to figure out what kind of design I want to put here. Because this is really like a sticking point for me here. Because this is a very important part of the building, if not the most important part. So we really got to figure out how we want to go about doing this. This is one of the most trickiest things I've done in a long time. Because I really like how this is looking so far. I like the shape of the front. So maybe if we do something like this, let's move this down 1. Maybe something like this. Have 1 in the middle, like that. And then have 1 here again, with this kind of finishing it off. So if we get that, maybe I want to use a different material to go along with it. That's why I'm trying to use some of these other materials. So we do that. Oh, I don't know. Alright, well, let's come back to that later. What we're going to do is just kind of go off here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We know this one's going to go here. Question is, how wide is this building going to be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if you have any ideas for a window design we should use, please let me know. Because as I said, this is a very good sticking point for me at the moment. Because of just how, the windows are going to be very big. Which is something that, I want to incorporate a unique design to them. So that's why I'm being kind of picky about how I do them. And I probably can find a design later on. Probably as soon as the video ends, I'll probably find a design I like. Because I'm trying to think of some in my head at the moment. But at the moment, I can't really think of too many, that would look good. So, this is a thinking process, really, when you want to make something like this. So, that's the fun part of it, though. Trying to think of a challenge, I like challenges. So, I think since we're getting this pillar completed. So, thank you very much for watching, guys. It is greatly appreciated, as always. I'm sorry that we didn't get too much done in this episode. We just got a whole bunch of pillars set up. But that's our foundation to go on. So, thank you very much for watching. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Or if you want to come back for more videos. And, bye-bye.
Some legends are told, some turn to dust or to gold, but you